Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching The Inside Scoop. I am your host, Steve Scanlon. Sitting next to me is my co-host, Bubba. Welcome, Bubba.
How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing pretty good. And sitting next to Bubba is Joe. Welcome, Joey.
Hello.
And sitting on the table once again is Joey's best friend, Emma Lily.
That's Bubba's best friend.
The other one sleeps with it, buddy.
As you are watching The Inside Scoop, and that's an interesting shirt you got there, Bubba.
Yes. Wrecking Ball Lagursky. He's a local independent wrestler.
Okay.
Just saw him wrestle this past weekend.
I heard of him. I haven't seen him yet wrestle.
Big, strong. He's over 400 pounds.
Wow.
Strong kid. Nice guy, but strong man. Been around wrestling for about, I think, it's about 15 years now.
Wow.
I never won this shirt before. I tried one when I haven't won before. I tried it every time. It's not easy.
Yeah. And we're going to get things started with Joe. You have any deaths?
Nope.
That's awesome.
I haven't heard any deaths either, believe it or not, anywhere.
That's good news. Good news is having no deaths going out. Uh-oh.
In about 2 weeks, somebody else may be dying here.
I feel bad for you, Emma Lily.
Yes, Emma Lily's actually, we on her last show, too. Yes, Emma Lily will be getting kicked off the show.
Okay, so you have
she's gonna be the
any
new
happy
host.
news, Joe? Someone's birthday to
I got a whole bunch of wrestling birthdays here.
Oh, cool.
One is the model Rick Martel.
Yes,
I remember
he's a
him.
model.
Is March 18th, and he turns 66.
You have to look good. I saw him on internet myself.
Okay, ECW diva Beulah McGillicuddy. She was March
He
14th.
was actually married at one time to Tommy Dreamer. They were really married.
She's 54.
A couple years younger than me.
The Stinger Sting.
Steve Borden.
Yeah, March 20th. He's 64.
I can't believe Sting's 64 already.
And his first one is one of the ghosts on my list, Chris Candido.
Chris Candido, God rest his soul. She caught him once in the match.
Well, his ex-wife, I think, is going to jail.
I think Sherry's in jail. Tammy Lynn Cinch.
WWE Hall of Famer.
Tammy Lynn Cinch. They're known as Sonny.
Yeah. His birthday was March.
I met her and I met him.
His birthday was March 21st. This next one, he's not undefeated anymore.
Solo.
Solo Sikoa. His birthday was March 18th. He's 30 years old.
I didn't think he was that old. I thought he was like 27. So you've taught me something there, Joe.
And we got the dead man, The Undertaker.
Yes.
March 24th. He's 58.
I almost wore his shirt today.
This next one is a late 1980s, early 1990s tag team wrestler. Bo Beverly of the Beverly Brothers.
Beverly Sisters. I mean Brothers. Yes, I remember them.
I called them Beverly Sisters.
We all did.
He's the one without the mustache.
Yes.
His birthday was March 22nd. He's 65.
Well, I know on a personal note, I know within 2 weeks, when this show might be aired, that Mike Baker, the man who sat in this very chair, is going to be turning 54. I can't say enough about Mike Baker on the independent scene. He's one of my best friends in the business, if not my best friend right now in the business. Yes, I'm older than Mike Baker. A lot of people call him the old man and teach. Happy birthday out there, Mike Baker. I'll show you this next time I see you.
He's next to born on the same day but different years. Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig.
Absolutely perfect.
March 28th, and this other one is March 28th, and this next guy would have been 50 years old this year. Umaga.
Died way too young. One of the famous Anui family members died way too young, that kid. He was one of the 3-minute warning at one time with him and Rosie.
Yep. All the birthdays I got.
That's all the birthdays, but he has a good list. Now, how are you getting these birthdays? Just
Facebook. They're popping up on Facebook in the wrestling group.
Good. Have you ever checked out WrestlingForum.com? I keep saying that to people because Vic puts a lot of these out there. I don't know. You got your mic so far into your chin, it's probably scratching because you haven't shaved in like 3 weeks.
3 weeks? I have shaved recently.
When? No. Next time use a blade. Yes, that one's for my director.
And we got 3 new Hall of Famers since the last show.
I'll drop this. I'll drop the bomb on that list.
So 3 new WWE Hall of Famers going into this year?
Yes, and I've actually 4 because I've got one that has not been mentioned.
Okay.
We got the Great Muta.
Yes, well deserved. Possibly one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers of all time. Muta was an amazing man, wrestled for over 50 years.
Wow.
I think Oscar's using one of his things he's known for, the spit.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's... Oh, side note, and we've talked about this before, do you remember? Who was the first person to ever use spit in wrestling?
Was it Tajiri?
Wasn't the Great Muta? No.
Who?
I don't...
Tajiri's the last one who used it with WWE, but the first person to ever use spit in all of wrestling. And it wasn't the Great Kabuki either. A man by the name of Kendo Nagasaki.
I don't know who that is.
73, he wrestled for Jerry Graham Wrestling in Florida. A little bit of history, guys. Yeah, I do know my history. That's why I'm here.
This one is comedian and actor, one of the stars of the TV show Taxi.
Thank you very much.
Andy Kaufman.
He was in Man on the Moon.
Yeah, I still said thank you very much.
And I think
Jim Carrey played him.
Yes.
Yes. Actually, the movie was based on him, his character. Yep. And Jerry Lawler and his feud was one of the top feuds ever in wrestling.
It's one of the famous spots on the David Letterman show, too.
Yes.
Yes.
People all thinking that they weren't friends, but they were actually him and Andy Kaufman. I actually just saw the Jerry Lawler biography. I watched some of it today that was on A&E last week. He says Andy was one of his better friends, actually. Andy asked him to do a skit like that, and he says he thought it would be good, and he went with it.
And lastly, Stacy Keibler.
Stacy Keibler was at one time dating Bubba Ray Dudley. She was rating at one time. What was it? Was it A-Roy? She was dating for what?
I don't know.
I know she was dating Test before.
Yeah, and Test. Now, here's a little bit of a pun intended inside scoop that I told my director this earlier. I've read, they've been teasing on the internet a referee going into the Hall of Fame. I found out through some sources, this is not confirmed, but from sources it's going to be referee Tim White, who lived right in the Warwick area. Warwick had a bar down Warwick, Mass. Well-deserved local guy, Tim White, referee for, I think, 17 years, WWE, or 18 years.
Wow. One
of Andre the Giant's best friends. Played cards. He spent more time with Andre maybe than anybody else. Him and Pat Patterson. Well deserved, because Tim just passed away a couple of years ago. Well deserved. It's Tim. I suggested other referees. Now, maybe before we go into our next segment, quickly, Joey and Steve, mention a couple of other referees you think should be in the Hall of Fame.
Nick Patrick.
One just had a birthday, by the way, yesterday. Dangerous Danny Davis. I just remembered that.
Nick Patrick, I think, should be in
it.
I don't know, maybe.
I think Dick Worley, referee from the 70s and 80s, I think he was the best referee when I was watching growing up. He was the best referee I think ever wrestled, ever referee.
How about Gorilla's son? Joey
Morello should go in. He died, another one died way too young, car accident. Mike Chioda worked for the company for 16 years for WWE.
What about the twins?
Oh yeah, the Hebner brothers.
Yeah.
They should be going in. Little Nate, who's still wrestling right now, David Robinson, who's still refereeing now. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. I think I'm not sure if he's in as a wrestler yet, but the man who's known as Nunzio or Little Guido, he's also a referee. I've seen him referee several matches. He worked for WWE for a while.
He's already a former referee in the Hall of Fame right now.
There is?
Yeah.
Who? Holla Holla?
Yes.
Holla Holla.
Oh yeah, that's right. He used
Teddy
to be
Long.
our
Teddy Long was a referee. Stella was a
Good point,
referee.
Joe. I forgot the guy's name. He was in ECW as a manager. He used to blow a whistle.
Bill Alfonso.
He used to be a referee back in the day for
Yes.
NWA wrestling.
Yep. I was a friend. I'm actually Facebook friends with Bill Alfonso. He just turned 77 or 78 about a few months ago. I couldn't believe how old Bill Alfonso is.
Wow.
Can't believe he's that old. But interesting.
Yeah, what's interesting too, Friday Night SmackDown, which is going to air before this episode airs, but they're going to have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on SmackDown. I know some of the guys who said they were going to be in it.
But they showed in the back some of the wrestlers
yes,
in the back.
I seen that on Raw this past week.
Madcap, Lashley.
I think
Was it Madcap? No, Boogs.
Madcap should be in it too. He should be in there. Lashley, Elias.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if Omos is going to be in that.
I don't think so because he's got a match at WrestleMania.
Then they showed Dexter Loomis.
Yeah, they did show him in the back. Yes.
He's going to be my pick for the winner for
Dexter Loomis.
the Battle Royal.
Interesting pick. I'm going to go with Rick Bogues. Joe, put you Johnny in the spot?
He's going to have to think now. So this is going to take a while.
Yeah, we see steam.
I guess I could go Lashley.
You would breed in my mind, Lashley. Bobby Lashley. He's my second choice.
He's
But
going to be hard to eliminate. But it's
Have to
possible.
gang up on him.
All you got to do is throw him over the top rope.
the kid from NXT who used to work with Apollo Crews, if he's in it, would be interesting.
Oh,
too.
Aziz?
Commander Aziz, as he goes by his real name now. I can't think of his real name.
Another good pick out there, if he's going to be in it, is Kofi Kingston.
Because he's like, I don't know if he's in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, but he hates to go. His feet never hit the floor. I watched the commercial.
Exactly. Okay, now, is there any new matches for WrestleMania to announce since the last episode, Joe? Actually, let me ask you a question, Bubba. When we do our picks, want to do the picks for all the matches for the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
I mean, WrestleMania is what I meant to say.
We got to wait all the way to next year for
I'm
the
going to
Royal
pick
Rumble.
Cody Rhodes and Rhea Ripley. Oh, wait a minute. Going to leaving soon. See, he's already thinking about retirement. He's got pink flamingos. What I heard you're going to, all right, is an Overeaters Anonymous sanctuary. They're going to lock you in a room for a while and torment you, make sure so you don't eat as much.
The restaurants can breathe a sigh of relief.
Why would they breathe a sigh of relief? He's not going there to eat.
That's why.
I mean, some of the buffets may reopen. I doubt it, as long as we're still in the area, though. But we should go over the whole Royal Rumble roster right now, since Joey has it written down. We've mentioned this, guys, about just a couple of Steve's last shows, and we are going to really miss Steve doing this show, next show. But Joey's going to be staying around. I'm keeping Joey around. His list helped this show immensely. So I think Steve would be appropriate right now for WrestleMania if we go over the entire thing again, go over the picks we already had, and then we'll do the last added matches, and we'll give our picks for that. Why don't we do that? And if you remember who we picked before. And we always have the right to change our mind now. This is it. It's do or die right now.
First is the WWE titles. Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes, I think, is going to win the match because of what I told you before. Roman has an injury to his shoulder. It's time to take the title off of him. It's the whole way the bloodline's been breaking up. I got a feeling Solo Sikoa is going to be going after Roman Reigns at SummerSlam somehow. That's my prediction.
My prediction is Cody Rhodes. I think it's about time Roman Reigns drops the title. And I've been seeing tension between Roman Reigns and the Usos. Jey Uso. So I see something backfiring during that match with the bloodline. So I'm going to go with Cody for this one.
Yeah, you know he's picking Cody. So. Next.
SmackDown Women's title, Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley.
I think Rhea's getting a huge push right now. I think they want to get Charlotte 16 world titles like her father. I think Rhea wins this match.
I agree with you.
Because, I mean, Charlotte's being too cocky, I think, saying, I'm not afraid of you, and I'm going to beat you. And I think Rhea's getting too big a push right now,
Yes.
the whole Judgment Day thing. So I think Rhea Ripley wins the match.
I agree with your opinion, so I'm going to go with Rhea.
And you're picking Charlotte. No, go on. Wait, if you actually want to pick a rule breaker sometime, I probably go into shock. You've done it once before. I almost went into shock. We've got one coming up.
We got the other women's title, the Raw women's title, Bianca Belair and Asuka.
That could be one of the best matches of WrestleMania if they let it go. Asuka's been on a huge push lately, but I don't remember what I said before, but I think Bianca Belair wins that match. It's going to be a great wrestling match. I believe it's on the first night. I think it's April Fool's Day.
Are they going to fool us Sunday saying wrestling's going to be on, but it's not going to be on April Fool's Day? Which is also Randy Orton's birthday.
This match for me is going to be hard to choose. But I'm going to go with Asuka only because I like her a little bit more than Belair.
Bliss has a title for a while too, over a year now, isn't it?
Gonna be a year. I'm gonna go with
with Joe?
the EST.
Okay.
Bianca. Brock versus Omos.
I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar.
I'm going with Brock Lesnar.
I'm gonna go with Omos.
Well, you're going with the bad guy.
Yeah,
yes,
we did that last time.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Lesnar hasn't
He's
been named.
going with Omos.
Wait, Joey's doing a heel turn. He's going with the heel for this.
Turning her back on you and walking away.
Well, Brock Lesnar hasn't been able to do anything against Omos in their confrontations.
Yep. Omos has actually no wrestling ability whatsoever. Brock Lesnar's a 4-time All-American, a beast. And because that's one of the reasons what WWE tends to do this a lot. Maybe you agree with me, Steve and Joe. They'll hype one person against another person. One person will be down, and the person who gets beat up a lot or hurt a lot wins the match. The opposite always happens.
And next we got Rollins against Logan Paul.
I think Logan Paul wins that match. I think he knocks him out. I really do. I think The Miz gets involved somehow with that match. But I think Logan Paul knocks out The Miz. I mean, Rollins. Oh, not.
I'm going to go with just another hard pick. But I got to go with the guy I know a little bit better. That's Seth Rollins, only because I don't know too much about Logan Paul.
That titanium fist he has, that fist he has a couple pieces of steel in his knuckles, helps.
I'm going with Rollins. Next we got a Hell in a Cell match. Edge and Finn Balor, the Demon Finn Balor.
Yes, I have from good inside source. Edge is going to be walked out by an old friend of his.
I think I know who it is. He calls his brother and his former tag partner, Christian.
And who else? Gangrel.
Oh, I think I saw something about them mention something about the
Gangrel's actually been signed, and Christian Cage is being allowed by AEW to walk out for one night for WWE.
I'm glad that, before you go on, I'm glad that they come to understand and allowing wrestlers to participate in a one-night only show and so forth. I'm glad that they're doing that.
Well, he's showing respect to Christian because that is probably his best friend. This could possibly be Edge's last match, but I think he has one or two more in him, but he's retiring soon. I think probably SummerSlam will probably be his last match.
And there's a rumor that someone is retiring this weekend too. I've seen.
I've heard rumors of that too. Same person I'm thinking of when we get to his name.
And this is the U.S. title, Theory against Cena.
I'm going to go with Theory because the reason why John Cena is in the process of filming another movie. And if he was to win the U.S. Championship, that means he'll have to make more appearances on WWE broadcast.
That's exactly
and he's going to be too busy, so I don't think they're going to give him the title.
I picked Austin Theory too. Somehow he's going to win that match. I don't know how, but I think John Cena's a better wrestler. Much better.
I agree. Who are you going with, Joe?
I gotta go with Cena.
Cena, we can't see you, but we can smell you.
Okay, now we got the first of two fatal four-way tag matches. This is the women's.
It's one of the new matches just added, by the way.
Yeah. The team of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez is one team. Team 2, Shotzi and Natalia. Team 3, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. And 4th, Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green.
That last team, Sonya and Green.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with them for this one. I think they've been doing good. Yeah, the I think they've been doing
Ronda
good.
Rousey and Shayna Baszler. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, Raquel and Liv Morgan is a really solid team too. But for some reason, I think Ronda and Shayna are gonna win that. Who do you think, Joe?
I'll go with Liv and Raquel.
Good pick.
The next one is the men's fatal four-way tag match. The teams of Street Profits, Braun Strowman and Ricochet, Alpha Academy, and the Vikings.
Okay, Steve.
I'm going to go with the Vikings.
I'm thinking the Vikings too because they try to give them a slight push. But I get a feeling somehow it's not going to be the Vikings. It's going to be Braun Strowman and Ricochet.
That's who I'm going for, Strowman and Ricochet.
If they pay anybody, they're paying Ricochet. Haven't noticed Braun Strowman hasn't gotten pinned yet in that group?
True.
It's always Ricochet. But the Vikings are getting a huge push.
We got the IC titles, a triple threat match. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus.
I'll go first in this one. I think it's Gunther. I think the other two are going to cancel each other out. They're going to be fighting amongst themselves, and Gunther's going to steal the match somehow.
I'm going to agree.
That could be
with
a Donnybrook. That could also be one of the best matches of the whole WrestleMania. That and the Oscar Belair match.
Actually, I'm going to change my mind real quick. I see
23 years and you have a
either
mind.
McIntyre or Sheamus is going to get the loss to the other one there. So I don't think Gunther is going to lose the match himself. I think one of his opponents is going to get pinned by the other one. So I'm going to go with McIntyre for this one. I see him
I would think
beating
Sheamus. This way, Sheamus wins the Grand Slam finally.
Who you pick, Joe?
I'm going to go with Sheamus for his first IC title win. Because he hasn't had that title yet, from what they say on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Matter of fact, before you go on, this week on Wheel of Fortune, they've been having WWE wrestlers up
I
here.
saw part of it last night. I was actually out last night. I came back in. I saw Austin 31 last night.
I missed last night's episode. I saw the night before. And we had...
Bianca, one I think the night before.
Yes. Her... McIntyre, and who was the third one? I forgot who the... it was...
Xavier Woods?
Xavier Woods.
Oh, the other one was Carmella that was on that show.
I'm sorry, Carmella. She won that episode over. I think that was Monday night.
I missed Mondays altogether. I was doing something Monday night.
Next, we got the unified tag titles. The Usos versus KO and Sami Zayn.
Again, that should be a classic wrestling match, the way they've been pushing both factions. I think it's time for the Bloodline to totally break up. But what's going to happen is Sami and KO are going to win, but they're only going to win the Raw title. They'll leave the SmackDown titles on the Usos, but if it's actually a unified title match, I think Sami and KO are going to win the match, and they're going to end the reign of... I think all the Bloodline is going to kind of lose everything right now, so it causes dissension amongst themselves, so they kind of have feuds amongst themselves, too.
They did bill it as the unified titles.
Yep, okay, if it's the unified titles, I think KO and Sami Zayn win that match.
This is one you and I were both thinking who it is. It's father versus son, Rey Mysterio against Dominic.
I think it's a retirement match, and as much as I can't believe this, but as it makes sense, think about this, it makes sense. Ray's going to job to his son's going to lose. he has to keep Dominic's career going. His is over. He's ready to retire. And I think no better way to give your son a push than to have son beat father. I think Dominic wins. Dominic is really playing the heel character really good right now. The only way I think Ray wins that match is if his daughter gets involved, or his wife somehow. I got a feeling Rhea Ripley gets involved in that match somehow too.
I agree with your pick, so I'm going to go with Dominic. Who are you going with, Joe? Oh, that's a stupid question. You're going with Ray, right?
Yeah.
Who's he going with? He's going with Emily. Any dates?
And lastly, we got a 6-woman tag match. We got the women's tag champs, Becky Lynch and Lita, with their partner Trish Stratus, versus Damage Control.
Yep. Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and
Bailey.
I've told you guys, I've also read this online. Trish Stratus is going to turn on Becky Lynch. And Trish is going to turn heel. So I think Damage Control wins the match.
Well, I'm going to go with the tag team that the 6-person team that I want to win. I'm going to go with the WWE Hall of Famers.
And Becky Lynch, because Becky's not in the Hall of Fame yet.
Becky Lynch, yeah.
Well, quickly, if I can, Steve, I went to a couple of independent shows last week. I'll show you guys after, too. On my telephone, I got to meet Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh, tough guy. Great show. Must have been at least 200 people there. There was standing room only. It was a busy show up in Natick. And WWE is actually going to be appearing in Bridgewater next month. Look it up on the internet. I'll give you more information maybe next show. And I went to go an RWA show in Providence at the Holy Rosary Church. Great wrestling card this past weekend. Everyone kept their titles. I think, one title. The new Hype Champion. They call themselves the Hype Champion. And I hate to mention this, but the commissioner, yeah, you'll know the name. Some people might know the name. David Morales, who's a local state rep in Rhode Island, is new Hype Champion for IWA. They have matches coming up next month. As we're trying to say earlier, first I want to thank WACS for having us, our director for directing us, Steve and Joey for their input, Emilia. You know, this is one of Steve's last shows, and on a personal level, Steve, thank you very much for allowing me to come on this show almost 4 years ago, allowing Joey to come on. Thank you for the 23 years you've given us.
You're welcome.
With all your wrestling knowledge.
Now, next talk show is going to be my last time.
Yes,
taping.
I said that twice, Steve.
Yes.
See, we're going to get Steve, earwax removed.
How about hearing aid?
My mind on my food.
Thank God no one died out there, but go Red Sox. Just
Have yourselves a good 2 weeks. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.